Hello, welcome to Village Stories at Home. My name's Alison and I'm going to tell you a story from my home here in Lanarkshire. There's an old rhyme from Ayrshire that goes, Donald Dinn built his castle without a pin. This is the story of why Donald built his castle. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a man named Donald Dinn who lived in a wee village in South Ayrshire. He lived in a whitewashed cottage with his wife Agnes and his wee dog Stumpy. Donald was a builder, but times were very hard and nobody could afford to employ a builder, so Donald had no work and no money. But he did have one good thing. There was a garden at his cottage, and Agnes and Donald grew vegetables, lots of healthy vegetables. Stumpy could catch rabbits, so between them they all ate well. One night, while they lay sleeping, Donald had a dream, and a voice in the dream told him, "Go to London Bridge, go to London Bridge." Donald woke up and he looked about the room, but there was nobody there, so he went back to sleep. The next evening, the same voice came into his dream. "Go to London Bridge, go to London Bridge." Donald woke again and he looked about the room. Who's there? But nobody answered. He could hear Agnes snoring and Stumpy snoring. There was nobody there, so he went back to sleep. The third night, the voice came louder than before. "Go to London Bridge, go to London Bridge." Donald jumped out of bed and lit a candle. "Who's saying that?" Stumpy barked and Agnes woke up. "Whatever's the matter, Donald?" "I keep hearing a voice saying go to London Bridge." "Oh, Donald, you're having a dream. Just come back to bed and go to sleep." And that's what he did. But the next morning, Donald kept thinking about his dream and he said to Agnes, "But what if it means something, dear? Go to London Bridge. They say London's paved with gold. Maybe I should go and seek my fortune." Agnes wasn't so sure, but by the next morning Donald was determined to go to London. So she helped him pack a bag with some spare socks and 3 big oaten bannocks and a big lump of cheese. Donald went with Stumpy. They walked from Ayrshire to London, which is hundreds of miles. There weren't any cars back then, or buses, or trains, so they had to walk the whole way, and eventually they got to London Bridge. Donald had never seen so many people in all his life. There were people selling things, and there were people going on donkeys and horses and carts and carriages and crying out their wares. Donald and Stumpy sat down at the side of the bridge. They were glad to rest their feet, and Donald ate the very last piece of his oaten bannock. "Oh, Stumpy, what are we going to do now we're here?" They sat and looked at people all day long, and then in the evening they went under the bridge and slept under the embankment. The next morning they came back onto the bridge, and Donald spent the entire day watching the people come and go. Finally, a shopkeeper opposite came out and called to Donald, "Hello there, stranger. What are you doing?" The friendly shopkeeper came over to Donald. "I saw you sitting there all day yesterday with your dog. You're not begging and you're not selling anything, so what are you doing?" Donald explained. "I had a dream that told me to go to London Bridge." And the shopkeeper began to laugh. "You don't want to listen to your dreams, mate. No, that's silly. Why, I had a dream just last week and it was go to Ayrshire. You'll find a cottage with a garden full of vegetables. Dig up the kale and there you'll find a pot of gold." I'm not going to listen to that though, am I? I mean, it probably doesn't even exist and it's miles away. No, fool's gold. Only fools listen to dreams. Donald had jumped to his feet and begun running off the bridge with Stumpy at his heels. He turned round and he waved to the shopkeeper. "Bye! Thank you!" And Donald and Stumpy ran the entire way back to Ayrshire. Straight into the garden he went, grabbed a spade and began digging up the kale. Agnes saw him and came out the house. "Donald, you're home! But what are you doing? Why are you digging up the kale?" Then there was a crack and the spade hit something. It hit a large clay pot that cracked open and was full of shiny yellow gold. Donald and Agnes were rich. In fact, they were the richest people in Ayrshire. And Donald used some of the gold to build his castle. He employed everybody in the village. They all had a job at the castle, so the whole village became prosperous. And the castle was named after Donald, Dundonald Castle, and so is the village. Donald and Agnes and Stumpy lived happily to the end of their days. I've got a picture of Dundonald Castle, what it looks like now. You can see it's just a ruin, but it's a strong ruin. There are 3 stories, and the ceiling of one forms the floor of another, and they say it was built without any wood. That's probably what the rhyme means. Donald Dinn built his castle without a pin. The pin is the wood. I hope you enjoyed the story. Maybe you'd like to do some activities related to the story. You could find out the story of your name. Do you know how you got your name? You might have to ask somebody in your family why they chose your name for you. And what about your family name, your surname? I looked my name up on this website. Perhaps you can do the same. There's lots and lots of websites will help you search for the meaning of your family name. There's another activity you could do as well. Do you like doing art? You could make your own family shield. I made this one to represent my family. It's very easy to draw, and what you put in your sections are things that represent you, what you like doing, what you're interested in, what you're good at. My family, well, we like animals, and we like cooking, we like drawing, we like keeping fit, cycling and walking, and, well, my husband, he likes playing musical instruments. Do you like music? And I like feeding the birds and watching them. Think about everything you love doing and make your own family shield. And if you want to, you could share it with the village on their Facebook page or Twitter. I hope you've enjoyed the story. Don't forget to subscribe to the Village Storytelling, and you get a new story each week. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.